Paul Maynard.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I'd like to thank the Backbench Committee for tabling this motion in particular. I think it's vitally important to realise that when the Noble Lord Owen first took action as a government minister with regard to this issue, the year was 1975. That was the year of my birth. That just shows how long this issue has been current and not dealt with by governments of all political persuasions. I understand that when medical treatment does not go according to plan, when something goes wrong and disability or a chronic condition results from it, and a wound is opened, it is very, very, very difficult to heal and cannot be healed just by money alone, though compensation is important. Intense frustrations are released. We've heard today about talk of a lost childhood, for example, or what might have been, or what never would be, of early deaths. It does affect lives totally in a way that many of us cannot really understand. That is why I unambiguously welcome the written ministerial statement, not just for what it contains, but for the fact that it deals with issues like travel insurance, access to insurance. I'm not going to get hung up on what the meaning of the word access might or might not be in the view of the Minister. It's the fact that we're covering those issues and I think matters, because what many haemophiliacs want to do is to lead as ordinary a life as possible. And I think we need to understand the gap between the lives ordinary people lead and the effect of haemophilia and other conditions on people's ability to lead an ordinary life. That, to me, is crucial. So I welcome unambiguously the written ministerial statement, which I actually made an effort to read before I came into the chamber, which I think, many honourable members might have found a useful exercise, perhaps. However, having read it carefully, I did note one omission, or perhaps one thing I couldn't quite find, and it's been mentioned perhaps by the honourable member for Gosport already, but I want to stress it a bit more, and that is the Skipton Fund, and the arbitrary cut-off date of the 28th of August 2003 for payments. I wasn't quite clear from the written statement whether readdressing that issue would be covered by her review. I came into politics largely out of frustration at the poor quality of public policy making in this country, under all parties. I just happened to pick the Conservative Party as a vehicle to express my frustration, perhaps. But there was a useful quote. There was a useful quote, perhaps, in the briefing documentation we were provided, that I would just like to read as quickly as I can, about the Skipton Fund from the Department of Health. The announcement of a scheme on the 29th of August 2003 occurred after the Secretary of State had revisited this issue. The difficult decision not to extend the scheme to people who had died before this date meant that it became an unavoidable cut-off point. We realise that these circumstances are not ideal, but have attempted to provide a pragmatic solution. I've seen a fair amount of civil service speak in my time, but that is as near as I have come to admitting that this is an awful decision. We know it's an awful decision, but tough. You're going to have to live with it. So I urge the Minister to try to include a review of this arbitrary cut-off date in the work she is doing in the run-up to Christmas. I unambiguously welcome the progress that we are making. I think everybody on all sides of the House should do. In particular, I ask for particular clarity over this figure of £3 billion. If there is a loose zero floating around this debate, it does make it very hard for honourable members to fully understand the motion and the issues before us. So I do ask for clarity. And finally, can I also say that when we get to Christmas, the number of people who have wanted to speak in this debate, I think, underlines the importance members attach to it. We will be paying very close attention come Christmas to the outcome of this review. I'm sure all of us here and in the public galleries will hope that finally we do get the closure that I know so very many people want. It will be difficult to achieve, but we do need it.